So welcome to video number 3, which is 1.3 student lesson overview. So in 1.1, we gave a class overview and we talked about basic header information here when you clicked on a class. And we left off when you got down to the SINs, and when a student enters the class window, they're going to scroll down. They're going to see that the gold coins cannot be cashed in because they have a red X. They actually did something and broke one of the rules in the class. And what they're going to need to do is cash in one of those gold coins in order to get rid of the sin. Now, to do that, since they have 2 gold coins, they can click on the red X. And what that red X will do by clicking on it is it'll cash in one of their gold coins and it'll remove the sin, leaving them with 1 gold coin left instead of 2. But now they can achieve points by completing lessons, etc., etc. So what we're going to do is, now that we've done that, we're going to go back into American history, and right below the class SINs you're going to see a vocabulary area. Now we're in a unit. The unit is the first American. So when you click in a class, you're always going to be assigned to the current unit. Now that doesn't mean that the student can't go back to previous units. So if they didn't complete the exam last week or do the homework, then they can still go back to the previous unit, they can work on that, and then they can come back into the current unit. This is the unit that's assigned for this week. You're going to see that there's a unit link here. There is a button for math practice that'll take you to a screen where they can actually do remediation of math. We include that on every screen. There's a Hangouts link which links them to the Google Hangouts for the class that's monitored by the teacher. There's a link for the report card, and the report card will give a list of all their classes and what their grades are, and then a detailed view is in class grades. So if you want to see every lesson, what grade they achieved, you want to see details on homework, what's missing, what needs to be done, they can go to class grades, and we'll show that in another video. So let's come down here. You can notice that this is the vocabulary. These are all the words that the student needs to learn for this unit. It also has a nice feature where if they double click on any word, they actually get a little link that says definition, and it'll go to a dictionary and actually give them the definition and the usage, etc., of any of the words. There's also flashcards. So if a parent or a student wants to work on the spelling or the definitions, they can click flashcards and it pops up a screen where it puts the word up and they have to give the definition, and then there's another screen that gives the definition and they have to determine the word for practicing. Now there's a dragon section. You earn a dragon by getting 90% or above on lessons, and dragons unlock other rewards and other games as well. And you'll see by the middle of the year, if they do at least 90% on a number of units, they're going to start collecting dragons, and there are all sorts of different dragons. Down here you're going to get a list of all the units. Right now there's only 1, but as they complete the first Americans and the second unit will appear. This shows here that the status is 0 out of 0 has been completed. Now the reason it says completed in 0 out of 0 is because the lesson due date and begin date hasn't started yet. So I'm actually going to turn on those due dates, and we'll show this in the next video itself going into the lesson. Once they complete a unit, you'll see their unit GPA and what their grade was on that unit. Down here, if you go a little bit further, you go to the class schedule. You'll notice that this is the same as the school schedule. Now the first week of school, the first unit is assigned for August 24th. So if you click that week, you'll see that there's homework assigned on Monday. There's a lesson on the ancient American Indian civilization. The Incredible Incas is Tuesday, the Mysterious Mayas, the Awesome Aztecs, and then the final exam on that particular unit is scheduled for Friday. When you click any week, you're going to see all the lessons that are assigned for that week, what homework assignments are due, and when a student completes it, you'll actually see a little asterisk indicating that it's been completed. When you come down a little further, now you're going to see the various lessons that need to be completed. And to do these lessons, you're going to look for Begin Lesson button that's going to appear. Now, this lesson is scheduled to begin on August 24th. So as of August 24th at midnight, this lesson will become active, and they'll be able to click on the Begin Lesson button. You're going to notice that there's a book on every one of the lessons, and if you click the book, what happens is Innovakids builds a PDF book of that particular lesson. So at any point the student goes through the lesson online, but if they want to study for the exam at the end of the week or the end of the quarter review exam, they can go back and they can print these books or preview them online. And especially for exams, if a student gets stuck on a particular problem, they can go back, go to the particular lesson from that question, and they can go through the lesson itself and look at the notes and look at the concepts that were taught and see if they can figure out what they did wrong at that point. Okay. To return to class, you have to go to the top of the book and hit the Return to Class button. They can also print this by going to Print, send it to a printer, and it actually formats in a book format with page numbers and everything, just like a book or a just like a history book that they can use. So at this point, we're going to return to class, and we're going to come back here, and let's scroll down a little bit. A number of classes have activities, so those are going to be games or projects that the student needs to do for that particular lesson. Okay, you'll see that every lesson also has a chapter number 1.1. This is Ancient American Civilizations. The homework assigned for that lesson is here. The student needs to complete the lesson, and then the homework button will be enabled. And they actually have to answer the question or do the activity and then submit that online. There's a button that says Submit Homework. It'll pop up a window where they can actually cut and paste or type their answer in. Also, every lesson has an associated discussion where they have to enter what they learned, or they have to answer a question relating to the topic. And that question and discussion is shared with the other students in the class. So they can actually read what other students learned. They can make comments to other students about what they posted, and it's all monitored by the teacher. There's also a reward down at the bottom. You'll notice that if a student receives an A, that's a 90% or above, they're going to receive a $20. Okay. Now, when you come down here a little further, you're going to see that the unit exam is here, and you can't take the exam until all the lessons are done, all the homework's done, everything's completed for the unit. Reward points, you'll see here, the homework's not active. If it was active, there'd be a button to do the homework, and you click it, and you could actually type in or put your answers in. You can see here that this lesson was completed. A number of lessons, in fact almost all of them, can be done 3 times. So there's a Take Again button. If the student doesn't like the grade they received or wanted to get higher points, they can do Take Again. If they take it again, they don't get points for an A or a B, very important. They can also see the results, the student book, activity, and print a certificate. That's the end of this. See you later.